A home, I say. You're talking about putting her in a nursing home. Harry laughs, and Jill says, yes, Grace, yes, we're talking about putting her in a home. It's obvious she can't live alone anymore. Mother would hate that. Jill walks over to me and picks up my hand and holds it and says, we don't have many options, Grace. Think of how we'd feel if she stayed at home and had an accident. Think how you'd feel then. But she loves her neighbours and the church and her garden. You know how much that house means to her. She loves her cat. What about Mr. Parker? Harry says, what? What did she say? I can't understand her. Jill says, Grace, our mother could have died. That's all that matters. We can find another home for Mr. Parker too. The most important thing is she'll be safe. I force my eyes to stay open. I force my mouth to move. Safe? That house has been her home for years, I say. She's lived a life there with her husband and her children. She's a grown woman. It should be up to her if she stays or if she goes. Jill sighs. It's a hard decision for us all, Grace. I understand that you don't want to see her institutionalised, but we can't look after her. In a home, she'll have doctors and nurses and support and medication. The ground tilts, and I reach out for Seamus' arm. My tongue has gone to sleep, and my mouth seems to be full of treacle. We haven't even asked her. She's healthy. She's active. We could make it easier for her to stay. Seamus says, Sweetie, your sister is right. It's for the best. I am unbearably tired. My right eye is closing, and I can't stop it. Everyone wants what's best for her, sweetheart, Seamus says. This is all overwhelming, and it's late, and the shock's probably been too much for you. You should probably try to have a rest. He takes my arm and slowly sits me down. I sag into the chair, my head lolling. Relax, sweetheart. Just sit here and relax while we discuss it. Harry says, God, Jill, she's always been a bit odd, but I can barely understand her. Seamus says, it's not her fault. It's the medication. There's been a few side effects, so they've started her on another kind. Her doctor says this is the transition period. She'll feel better in a few days. God, she's been so brave. I never imagined it would change her so much. Jill says, is there anything we can do to help her? Seamus says, she doesn't seem to want to talk about it. I'll do anything to help her, but I don't know what to do. Jill says, I know she'd never say it, but she loves Mum very much. So do we all. It'll be much better when Mum is somewhere she'll be looked after. They're probably right. I should let them handle it. I open my eyes a sliver, and in her bed I can see Mother turning her head from side to side. Perhaps she can hear us after all. Perhaps she can hear every word about packing her away in a nursing home. Could they not stop talking and let her sleep? Let me sleep? I am so tired. Please let me crawl in next to Mother in her hospital bed and put my head on her shoulder and have a little nap. Harry, Jill and Seamus stand together in a triangle, speaking in loud whispers. I try to focus and listen. I close my eyes again, and snippets of their words float past. Mum's always been unlucky, accident-prone. Just as well there are no stairs in that house. Seamus says, Grace told me all about the accident when you were kids. Did you and Grace get another puppy? When you moved to this house, I mean. Puppy? Jill says. Mum's always been a cat person. We never had a puppy. It's nearly dawn when we get home. Even in the car, I can't stay awake. I'm dozing on and off, but Seamus doesn't say anything. Not one word. He helps me out of my clothes and into my pyjamas. He tucks me in. My eyelids are glued shut. Seamus says, I know you can hear me, Grace. There is a silence. There was no puppy, he says. Was there, Grace? No, there was no puppy. He leans towards me, one arm resting on the bed on the other side of my body. What did happen on the back stairs? It was an accident. Exactly how I told you, except it was my brother. My baby brother Daniel fell down the stairs. I'm so sorry, Grace. I didn't realise. I think of all the small acts of love he's given me. And all this time he thought I was someone else. Well, you do now. Now you know exactly what kind of a person I am. It doesn't change anything, he says. Bullshit. It changes everything. No, Grace, it doesn't. The only thing that matters is why you lied to me. I tried to laugh. Why didn't I casually mention on our first date that I killed my baby brother? I can't imagine. Since then, I mean, for God's sake, Grace, you were just a kid. It was an accident. Why didn't you trust me? So, this is all about you now, is it? About poor Seamus, whose girlfriend didn't tell him the truth? I hoped it might be about us. Well, it's not. Grow up. You don't own me, or my mind, or my memory. I owe you nothing. Maybe we shouldn't talk now. The shock of your mother's accident, the medication, you're saying things you don't mean. I know exactly what I mean. I've been meaning to say it for ages. He turns his head away. I'm sick to death of you, you self-righteous, controlling shit. I'm sick of being judged by you. I am. God, I'm so sick of sitting there watching TV. I want to be myself again. No, don't touch me. Just get out. He doesn't move. Get out. I mean it. Think about what you're saying, Grace, please. I've thought about nothing else for weeks. Find someone else to rescue, you average man. There's nothing wrong with me. Those final words exhaust me. I can't manage any more. For such a long time I've been so tired. Now I am finally lying in my bed, all tucked in. I can sleep for as long as I want. For weeks. For years.